Well, hello there, my friend. Welcome back to the channel. You know, ever since last Friday, I've been so paranoid that my sound is going to be bad once again. So you see me like saying hello and then looking down in the corner, making sure everything looks to be good, and it does. It looks to be running okay. Maybe a little hot. Pull back just a little bit on the old volume there. Welcome to the channel. My name's Gavin. This is where I hang out, and this is apparently where you hang out, and I'm glad you do. On this channel, we like to cut through fluff. We like to cut through sensationalism. We like to get into the nitty gritty of true crime, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. We do okay. Today, we have it's not totally unprecedented, but it's rare that I do this. We have two live streams happening in one single day. So we're going to be talking about this case first, and then here in an hour, 7:30 p.m. Eastern at our normally scheduled time, we are going to be getting into the Madeline Soto case. But for now, we are in the Aubrey Woo case. And guys, it's so refreshing when there's good news. I don't want to bury the lead here. You know what the lead is? Aubrey Woo has been found safe. Aubrey Woo has been found safe. Now let's just do a quick little recap of this, okay? Aubrey, 14 years old, living in it's northeast of Philadelphia area, Northampton County, and she had some issues going on, some behavioral issues, some maybe some bullying, maybe some peer pressure issues at school. She had some issues, but she had been interacting with the Child Protective Services, Department of Human Services here in Pennsylvania. Child and Youth Services is what it's called, and her family thought she was kind of in the clear. She was doing better, and when it turned out that she really wasn't, her family actually asked for help again from Child and Youth Services. It appears that Aubrey felt like that was a bridge too far. She was a little over-managed, and she ran away. It appeared that she may have run away with the help of some adults, but we're not going to focus on that tonight. We're going to focus on the happy news. So let's just take a quick gander. This is Aubrey with her mom. Her mom's name is Jade Woo. And then, here's another picture with her mom. And then this is with her mom and her stepdad, John Gurman. So, she has what appears to be a loving family, but she's a teenager. She's got angst. She's got issues that she's working through. And boy, am I glad that she's been found safe. So I've got two videos that I want to share with you guys tonight. Then we're going to discuss it just a little bit. I don't want to, well, you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into the kind of particulars of what might be happening here in the future. We'll talk a little bit about them. I'm just happy that she's been found. She's in the custody of authorities. She's not in trouble. And I think what we're going to start with is a press conference with the Northampton County, Pennsylvania District Attorney's Office. They apparently don't realize that it's 2025 and you can live stream with a camera above 360p, but we're going to just take what we got, okay? We're going to take what we can get. Let's come on over here, I believe, and we are going to have a go at this. This is about a 14-minute video. Here we go, and I'll be checking your comments over here at the same time.
All right, everyone.
Let me bring up the volume a little bit.
Thank you for coming today. Now, on June 10th of 2025, it was reported to the Palmer.
Now, I want to do a sound check here. I want to make sure that we are not echoing. All my lights are correct. All my buttons are correct. Let me just check the comments to make sure that nobody's going crazy. I feel like we're okay with the sound. Here we go. Let's keep going.
Township Police Department that N.C. Woo, also known as Aubrey, was a runaway child, and the report was made by her parents, who reported to Palmer Township that there had been some concerns by them with regard to emotional and behavioral issues with NC, and that there was also tension in the house with regard to parental restrictions placed on NC, and that was the reason why they believed that she left the house. Now, that was over 90 days ago.
Oh, can you
Yesterday,
imagine?
April 14th,
3 months.
local law enforcement from Jasper, Georgia, and Jasper is a small town about 60 miles north of Atlanta, has about 4,000 people in it, and it's in between Atlanta and the border of Tennessee. The Jasper, Georgia authorities located NC and had NC in their custody. Apparently, NC was without any physical injuries and needed no medical attention. And as a result of Georgia taking NC into custody, there would have to be a determination made for how she would be returned to Pennsylvania. We are also aware from the reports that NC had been.
So she was in Georgia. She had made it to North Georgia, almost on the Tennessee border. That is exactly the opposite of where kind of her parents might thought that she might have gone. They thought maybe she'd gone to Jersey. They thought maybe she'd gone to California. Of course, I don't blame them at all, man. 2 worried parents looking for their missing daughter, crying out loud. And there was no telling where she had gone. They were just trying to kind of figure out the clues. But yeah, North Georgia, and she's in the custody of authorities down there.
Residing for a period of time in Georgia, and that she had established some relationships with individuals. And as a result, the Georgia authorities are still investigating the circumstances of NC residing in Georgia and the quality of the relationships she had. At this point, we're not aware that any charges have been filed in Georgia, but that investigation is also ongoing.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about any charges that might be filed in Georgia, it could just be that Aubrey made her way down there and she had some grit and some ability to take care of herself, and made her way down there, made some friends. Maybe she convinced them that she was 18 years old. Maybe they thought she was an adult. That's like one side of the spectrum. On the other side of the spectrum, it could be that she was trafficked, right? Like there's a broad range of possibilities here. I have been keeping my eye open all day long to see if there's any charges that have been reported. I haven't found any. It likely feels like it's closer to the completely innocent side of the spectrum on this one, at least for the folks down in Georgia.
Now, NC remains in Georgia today under the care and custody of Georgia Child Protective Services. We are not directly involved in the custodial transfer, but let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen with regard to NC. Both Pennsylvania and Georgia are members of the Interstate Compact for the Transfer of Juveniles, which requires that the transfer of NC's custody, while under the supervision of the legal authorities in Georgia, must be to Pennsylvania's Department of Human Services, the Office of Children, Youth, and Families. Ultimately, once Georgia returns NC to Pennsylvania, Department of Human Services will then transfer her to Northampton County, and her custody will be with Northampton County Children and Youth, and then they'll have to conduct their own evaluation and make a determination as to whether NC can be released, or because of safety concerns or other issues, that the matter may have to be referred to Northampton County Juvenile Court. That is outside law enforcement's jurisdiction and involvement. You do not participate in that process. Now, we make this announcement because it is apparently of great public interest.
That is true.
With regard to this young lady. We are aware there's been a lot of discussion, both in media and social media.
Yeah, actually, I mean, guys, I honestly think, and we're going to listen to a statement from Jade in just a minute. And this is casting no aspersions, no shade on law enforcement at all. But I think that the reason that Aubrey was found is directly because of the efforts that her mom and stepdad made to locate her using social media. I mean, I think the police were doing everything within their realm. I do. I think that they were doing a pretty darn good job. Maybe not in the beginning, but they came around, and when we talked with John and Jade on this channel, they were very encouraged that they had talked with county detectives at the DA's office. They were extremely grateful for the help that they had gotten from them. But I do believe it is because directly tied to the social media aspect of things. I mean, what happened was, from what I understand, I've been on it used to be called Aubrey's Not Found group on Facebook. Now it is called Aubrey Is Found, which is pretty awesome. They were doing a live stream, and either during or after their live stream, they got a tip, and they called that tip in. And that led to finding Aubrey. So, I mean, casting no shade on law enforcement, because everything that they did within their realm, and they did a pretty darn good job. I know that John and Jade have some complaints, but for the most part, they did a very good job. The people who did the best job, though, were John and Jade. It was almost textbook how well they did. They had messaging put together. They had a presentation put together. They had a presence on social media. If you asked them, what is it that I can do? They had an answer for you. They were on top of it. They couldn't have done any better. I honestly don't think they could have done better. They did great. So yeah, I just want to interject there. Law enforcement's done a good job, but the people who have done the better job and the indispensable job is Jade and John.
However, this announcement, although we're relieved, is not celebratory because there's a lot in front of us yet that needs to be done. But everyone here in this room, along with her family, are relieved that NC is without injury right now. Now,
yeah, she's unharmed.
Why is the district attorney involved in a runaway case? Generally, this is not a criminal matter. We were aware, like many people were in the community, as a result of social media activity, that there was some tension between NC's family and Palmer Township. And we met with Palmer Township in the beginning of March to discuss the possibility of providing some support. And Palmer Township invited us to participate with them. But this investigation has been Palmer Township's investigation and will continue to do so.
So I think he's doing a pretty darn good political move there. And yeah, there was tension between Aubrey's parents and the township police. And it wasn't until they had that meeting with the district attorney's office that they started to feel okay about it. And not only good on the district attorney, not only good on Aubrey's family, but also on Palmer Township for saying, you know what, district attorney, county attorneys, or county detectives, we'd love your help. You can't. I think everybody involved did a pretty darn good job. I mean, dude, we've got a missing girl that is found. How often do we have news like this? Not often enough.
What we did was we did assign our chief county detective. Our chief county detective is a member of an FBI task force, and he was able to bring to bear his contacts. And we had a wide array of participation of both local and national law enforcement agencies helping us. I know, at least from my office, that many hours went into this case by our Chief Detective Bradford Jones, and also with the support of our First Assistant Bob Iyer. So, besides Palmer Township and our office, the Pennsylvania State Police, the FBI, Homeland Security, and the Jasper Police Department in Georgia have been very active and important entities involved in this matter. At this time, no charges are currently contemplated. However, we are aware, and we've been aware, of numerous allegations with regard to alleged criminal or concerning behavior. And social media, there were allegations discussing human trafficking, and there were references to past relationships and also concerns about what present relationships NC has. But at this point in time, all of the allegations are currently under investigation, and
Good.
we have no comment with regard to where we are with those
Good.
Cases. Right now, I want to identify and thank Palmer Township Police Department, because this has been a hectic, stressful 90 days as they devoted significant resources to locating NC, and now, as a result of this hard work, she will be returning home to the Lehigh Valley without injury. So we have here Captain Wayne Smith. I'm sorry, Chief Wayne Smith, Captain Fossomali, Detective Strong, and Sergeant Eubanks. Brad Jones is all the way to my far right, and Mr. Iyer is on my left.
This guy's name is
As I
Stephen
said
Barada,
before,
by the way.
The investigations remain.
He's the Northampton
If there
DA.
are any questions, we'll field them now. I don't believe that anyone wants to make an additional statement. Is that correct?
No, sir. I believe you covered everything.
Yes.
It's my understanding that she was found after making a TikTok video. Can you explain a little bit about, if you can, about that?
Well, I don't know that that's the reason why she was found. I believe there may have been cooperation or tips presented to law enforcement, and we're aware that she's been active on social media for a period of time. So there were videos on social media, and
I probably didn't know about those
over the last days, but I believe
until she's found. I don't know.
Cooperation from the community in Jasper resulted in the authorities finding Vincent.
Someone recognized her, I guess?
I believe so,
Okay.
yes.
How'd you wind up in Georgia?
Well, that's an important question, and I think only NC can answer that.
Okay.
Of course, we're not going to be interviewing Aubrey.
Are there any potential charges coming?
She's a
Well, we
troubled
understand that
teen.
Georgia is actively looking into what happened, and they have been interviewing various, I don't want to say, people of concern, but at this point, I don't believe that charges have been filed. At least we have not been notified that charges are filed.
I'll be on the lookout for that too,
Can you
guys.
tell us, was it a home? Was there a family living there? Who was she staying with?
Well, according to the reports, she may have been moving around, and she established relationships with several people. So we couldn't say that she had a fixed residence. I believe she was temporarily moving around in Jasper at the time.
Her
These aren't
parents,
family members, though.
Not family members, no.
her parents know that she's safe and everything?
Yeah. Yes.
Is there any reason why they're not here?
Well,
Because of their, I guess you kind of made clear.
we received
Yeah.
a notice. I believe, as a matter of fact, the family has retained a lawyer to represent, and,
Right.
and they were aware of the press conference.
Okay. I mean, you suggested there may have been trouble at home, I guess, and
Well, trouble at home, there was tension at home
Right.
that caused the runaway.
right.
And according to the parents, they believe that the restrictions they placed on Nancy may have been the triggering cause for the runaway. But that's the self-report from the parents.
You can't give us any more detail on what happened there.
Well,
These are pretty good questions from
Nancy deserves
the journalist.
privacy, but I can say, because I think it's pretty clear from the parents' reports, that they believe there were emotional and behavioral issues that required their attention. And that's why they placed restrictions on her activity.
Can you get any detail on the house, the people that were living there? Were they adults? Was it a community type home? Was it? I'm trying to
If
figure
I
out.
pull out my cell phone, I think I would tell you that I first got notice of this at 2 a.m. All right, so this is very recent right now, and we haven't been able to exchange a lot of information with the Georgia authorities.
Were there adults in the house where she was found?
From what I understand, there are several adults who have been persons of interest that the Georgia authorities have been interviewing or having contact with at least.
Do we know what she was doing in these 90 days? Any idea if she was involved in any criminal activity, or was she just pursuing another way of living somewhere else?
We, at this point, don't have any information, but from
these
tangential information that we have,
these journalists are actually doing a pretty good job. They're pressing to get more information. They're getting more information as they press, but they're asking questions that are important, and they don't seem to be trying to cross that line of the privacy that a 14-year-old girl should have. 14-year-old girl or runaway girl should have. And I think that Mr. Barada here, who is the Northampton County District Attorney, is doing a pretty darn good job. Obviously, when this happened at 10 a.m., it had only been 8 hours. He had slept probably 4 or 5 of those, right? So there's not tons of information. I have looked for more, and I haven't found any other details yet. I think more details will come out, but if they come out about Aubrey, I think I'm probably going to just let those lie. There's no point in speculating on anything that she may have done or did not do. But I think it's proper to talk about anyone who was an adult that had anything to do with her disappearance, with her movement, with her living situation. That definitely should be investigated, 100%.
we believe that Nancy is very intelligent and very sophisticated.
I agree.
And was careful to conceal her whereabouts.
Interesting that she went on TikTok later.
Well, I think she felt safe that the posting did not identify her directly by the way she looked. I mean, from what I understand, she looks different. I believe she has blonde hair. Is that correct? Yeah.
Right. So she altered her appearance.
From what we understand.
That means he doesn't really know. He believes it to be true.
I have a question.
Yes.
With the morning call. Is there any concern that there's a larger issue here with human trafficking? Because we're going from Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley to Tennessee. And I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I will say this, that our investigation, since we've been involved in many different states, so of course, moving children over state lines does involve trafficking. And of course, if there was behavior that involves sexual activity, it would involve trafficking even for adults. At this point in time, there are concerns, but we have no evidence that would suggest that charges will be filed with regard to those concerns anytime in the near future. We need to sit down and have an opportunity to speak with Etsy as to what was going on, obviously.
Thank you.
By the way, I haven't been able to find any of the
Anything else?
videos that she posted. They may
Well, thank
be
you
down
very much.
already.
Very good,
Thank you.
All right, so that is that video. Want to go over to your comments here real quick. Let me just run over here and see what you guys are saying over here. Dom's mom, 725, Gavin, I ran away from home at 13, 14, and 15, thought I was invincible. Mental health struggles are real, and we don't always make the best choices at that age. Hope she's shown grace and gets the support she needs. That is very well said. I completely 100% agree. I hope that she is extended some grace. I hope she's able to heal. And yeah, I mean, even if you don't have any major psychological issues, bullying issues, mental health issues, 13, 14, 15 years old is a tough time. It's a tough age. Not quite sure what to do, how to deal with really hard things. And these were really hard things. Crime and Consequence says this is such great news. Mooney says that she agrees with me. Aubrey's parents are 100% responsible for finding their daughter. They did such a good job. Autumn agrees. Yes, it was. A member of their page reached out to her parents while they were on a live. Yep. Kathleen, she had been missing since January 10th. So 95, 96 days. It's a long time. Marmalade says, okay, where's the stained glass window? And Gavin, please don't go all Hollywood on us. Now, we're coming up on summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, right? Here in Western Pennsylvania, it doesn't really get all that hot. However, we have a home that's 122 years old. And we've got historic windows, including those stained glass windows, and they just let in so much heat. So I just wasn't looking forward to working in this office for the entire summer, so I took care of it. So that's why you see it is a little bit different now. All right, let's see. Anything else before we go on? Nope, looks like we're caught up. Lisa's glad she was found all right. Idea Delight says, blessings to Aubrey's parents. Hugs. I'm just glad she was found safe. We now have to find out what happened. Yep. Superfly, I'm happy to cover this case. I honestly, it's really easy in the beginning to go, oh, what's going on in her house? What did her parents do to her and all that stuff? I found Jade and John credible. I found them to be transparent. I found them to be working hard in appropriate ways to find their daughter. And I thought they did a terrific job. So I'm grateful for them. Lisa goes, Gavin, the brain isn't fully developed until 21 or so. Yeah, or in my case, like 55 or so, which is in the future, right? So adults need to keep that in mind on top of any behavioral or mental issues. She deserves understanding and love along with the help. Indeed. I think most of us feel that same way, and that is a terrific sentiment. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, let's go over here now, and we're going to, this is a video that was posted to the Aubrey is Found, is what it's called now, Facebook page. There were two videos that were posted. One was like 2 a.m, right after they found out that their daughter had been found. I decided not to share that one because it was just, you could just tell how hard life was, how tired they were. And I wanted to maybe just let that one go by and let them share in their own words once they had processed. So this is the video that I chose to share tonight. I have bumped up the audio a little bit so it's a little easier to hear. Hopefully it won't blast you out, but let's go ahead and have a go at this. Here we go.
So Aubrey has been found, and I'm very happy. Finally relieved after 94 days of painfully waiting and wondering, and the nightmare is over. The nightmare is over. So yeah, I know the last video not such a good look. It was late at night, and yeah, I know smoking is not good, but I'm just so happy, so relieved of Aubrey being found safe and unharmed. What we do works. What we do, spreading out the word, finally spread it out to the corner that Aubrey can hear. So thank you, everybody, and capital thank you. Thank you, everybody, all casts. No matter what have you done, put up a flyer or repost a link tree or anything, a prayer, kind word, just talk about Aubrey's missing. I appreciate every one of you, and without you, it can't happen. And
I'm just going to jump in here for a second. They did so terrifically. I can't stress this enough. They did so well. They worked so perfectly to find their daughter, and I love how she said, what we did worked. We got the message out, and it finally reached the corner where Aubrey was. And that's a delightful way to put it. Just I hope that is an indication that Aubrey saw what they were doing and said to herself, "Oh, I need to rethink this." I hope that's what that means. Is that because I remember when I was a kid, like in 5th, 6th grade, I would get angry and I would run away, and I'd get 3 blocks away, and then I'd worry about what my parents were thinking, what they were doing, and all. At that age, it's just so easy to be in yourself and to convince yourself of things that aren't true, right? Convince yourself, oh, mom and dad don't love me because they grounded me, or they took away my Transformers, or they won't let me watch TV, or they're making me do my homework. You're just not, you're a kid. You're just a kid. And I know that, at least in my own case, when I let those feelings fester, they just get worse, and you start to convince yourself of deeper and deeper untruths, right? So I hope what she was saying, that our message got to Aubrey, means Aubrey went, oh, wait a minute, no, I'm loved. I can go home. I haven't done too much. I can go home here.
keep saying one of you angels will bring her home, and today is the day. And very, very happy, and I can't wait. It still takes some time for me. Finally, we'll meet Aubrey in person, but I was able to talk to her on phone with video chat for a little bit, and
That's terrific.
yeah, there will be a lot of stories to tell, but give it time and space, and yeah, we're all looking forward, and the nightmare's over, and really looking forward to.
Oh my goodness, right? 94 days is what she said. 94 days. That is every parent's nightmare.
The next chapter, able to see Aubrey again and live a life together, and thank you. Just want to say thank you to everybody, and also really thank you for Palmer Police to act accordingly.
Yep.
With sense of urgency, that for weeks that we spring on top of our lungs off, and they did it, and I really, really appreciate
Good for them.
Everyone that work on it.
Good for them for giving credit, because, as much as, they don't need to do that, but it does feel good to get an attaboy or an attagirl every once in a while. It really does. So good on them for doing that. I'm telling you, Jade and John have just done so well here, and they continue to show that grace. It's amazing.
And get Aubrey found, and she's safe, and I get to see her smile again, and I'm very proud of what John does, and thank you for be the spokesperson for our family, and thank you to John. You are the biggest advocate, and you are the best husband and dad. Thank you, John. John, want to say something?
No. John doesn't want to say anything except thank you to everybody. I think that's the right note to end on. Thank you all for the prayers last night. What a day. What a day.
Your prayers brings miracle.
Yep.
Yep, the prayers works. And last night, we were really nervous when we received this tip, and we know it's very urgent and need to act on it immediately. And so, at the end of our live last night, we started receiving the tip, and then after the live tap, we start contacting that person. And yeah, thanks to internet that reach out far enough and technology to find out Aubrey is Aubrey and get her located safe and sound. Yeah. So extremely grateful. And thank you for accompanying us throughout this difficult time. And there's still a long way to go, and I hope this chapter get all let everybody feel something, learn something, including us, big lessons, and for Aubrey as well, a big chapter of her growing up. And I just wish she can still have a strong strength and positive attitude, and very brave girl, very brave. And yeah, it's my daughter. And thank you every one of you that care about helping me find my daughter. Really, really appreciate every second, every time of your energy, your love and support, kind words, prayers, flowers. This is the best day of this year.
Yeah, by far.
By far. So I can say 2025 finally started in a good note. And now. So yeah. Looking forward to celebrate with everybody soon. But first, let's see what's going on with Aubrey and when can she come back to PA, and then yeah, I'm looking forward to a big celebration together. All our efforts did not go to waste. She's safe and she's unharmed. Nothing better than that. So yeah, I just want to once again, over and over again, thank you very much.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign it off. Okay, Jay?
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again.
So yeah, that is a happy mom for sure. Let's go to a couple more comments. Keep in mind that we're going to be doing another live here in about 20 minutes on the Madeline Soto case. So we're going to wrap this up here pretty quickly. Thank you all for joining me. And I believe that YouTube will forward you on to the next one after this one is done. Okay, Dom's mom says, Gavin, yes, I hope she saw everything her parents were doing and realized how much they love her. Not that they're trying to control her, but they love her and want her safe. I agree. Jess says, Gavin, I saw the first one, and it was so nice to see Jade smiling, especially after you had that interview with him, and she was so somber. Oh my goodness, was she ever. She was half asleep, but still had a smile on her face. Indeed. Lisa, it makes my heart happy to see her smiling. Gen X, whoa, is this the entire Generation X that is talking to us here? The entire Gen X? All right, here we go. When I was little and would get mad, I would walk to the end of the block and remembered I couldn't cross the street. So I would walk back home. Never even thought about it as I got older. That's cute. It's funny, like just how That seems to be a universal thing. You know what? If I'm not getting my way, or if I think there's injustice in the world, I'll just run away. We all felt that at some point when we were kids. See if there's a couple more. Jess says it's nice when the power of the internet does something good. Indeed. Indeed. And you know what? The power of the internet, I was thinking, in true crime has done some amazing things. But even with good things, the outcome's hardly ever happy. You know? Just thinking back to Gabby Petito, it, it a lot of what ended up being the case against Brian Laundrie and ultimately leading to where Gabby Petito's body was found had everything to do with social media. And not casting shade on investigators. They were doing a great job too. But without social media, they wouldn't have got there, but it still wasn't a happy ending. Here I'm hoping for a happy ending. We have a happy ending today. I hope the epilogue is just as joyful. Lisa says, Gavin, I never ran away, but one of my cousins did. She ended up leaving her house, walking maybe 100 yards to the back house that her parents had while they built their home and hid there for a day. That's funny. I think you guys are communicating what we all feel, right? We understand. We understand what a 14-year-old child is going through in their head on some level. We don't understand it all, but all of us have had that feeling, I'm sure, of I'm just going to run away. And so I hope that that's something that Aubrey felt, that there was real empathy for her out there, and we all wanted a good, happy ending. Well, guys, that is a good place to end it for today. Did you see that we're coming up on 116,000? We're just 100 and what is that? 171 away? I can't do math. 181 away from 116,000 people in our little community, and that is a blast. Okay, so tomorrow, or not tomorrow, in an hour, and no, my goodness, in like 15 minutes, let me come over here. Just show ye old YouTube here. This is what we're doing right now, and then here in a few minutes, we are going to be talking about the Madeline Soto case. There have been some documents that were filed with court that we're going to read. I don't think this one's going to be terribly long, guys, but it's super important. So please join me in, 17 minutes to talk about the Madeline Soto case with me, specifically the defense wanting to delay the suppression hearings. Like, they started this and now they don't want to finish it. And they're saying that there are some reasons for it. But in 17 minutes, you and I are going to talk about it. With that, I bid you adieu until 17 minutes from now, when I hope you come back to me and we spend some more time together. Until then, take care of yourselves. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.